Did you know at one point BMW wanted to charge $9.99 per month so that you could use your heated seats?
I do remember that.
There's heated seats in the car, but you only could turn them on if you had the subscription.
You don't really buy things anymore. You unlock them. You activate them. You subscribe to them. Music, movies, fitness, software, cars, coffee, storage, even features inside products you already paid for. Somewhere along the way, ownership quietly disappeared, and in its place came monthly fees, free trials, auto-renewals, and silent charges you only notice when you finally check your bank statement. This video isn't about one company, or one app, or one industry. It's about a shift in how things are sold, how value is framed, and how modern life slowly turned from something you own into something you rent. Think about how many subscriptions you have right now. Not the big ones, not just Netflix or Spotify. The small ones, the invisible ones. Cloud storage, delivery memberships, fitness apps, editing software, meditation apps, news, email tools, password managers, even your car. Heated seats, remote start, driver assistance, locked behind a monthly fee. You don't feel the cost in one moment. You feel it in fragments. $4.99, $7.99, $12.99, spread across months, hidden inside convenience, framed as access instead of expense. And that's why it works. Because modern subscriptions don't feel like buying. They feel like maintaining life. Not that long ago, buying something meant finishing something. You paid once, you owned it, and the relationship ended. You bought a DVD, a CD, a camera, a piece of software, a car. And after that moment, the product belonged to you. It worked or it didn't. You upgraded or you didn't. But the transaction was complete. Companies made money when they convinced you to buy again, not when you simply existed. Revenue was occasional, spiky, uncertain, and hard to predict, which meant something very important. Businesses had to keep winning you back.
Then the internet matured. Software moved to the cloud. Products became platforms, and companies discovered something more powerful than sales: predictability. A subscription doesn't end. It continues. It renews. It smooths revenue into a steady stream. And that changes everything. Because once a company stops selling products and starts selling access, the goal is no longer to impress you, it's to keep you. Interfaces change, updates change, incentives change. Growth is no longer about better, it's about harder to leave. Ecosystems, lock-ins, bundles, defaults. Your files live there. Your habits live there. Your workflow lives there. And over time, switching stops feeling like a choice and starts feeling like a disruption. Subscriptions didn't spread because they were cheaper. They spread because they were smoother for companies and quieter for you.
The subscription model doesn't rely on big decisions. It relies on small ones. Free trials, one-click starts, soft reminders, hard cancellations. It removes the moment of cost and replaces it with a feeling of continuity. You're not paying again, you're just continuing. This is called pain of payment, and subscriptions are designed to make sure you barely feel it. The charge happens when you're asleep, when you're busy, when you're not deciding anything. And because nothing ends, your brain never resets. No new purchase, no new evaluation, no new question of value, just quiet persistence. And over time, your baseline changes. Not what things cost, but what life feels like it needs.
The subscription model doesn't rely on big decisions. It relies on countless tiny ones, the ones your brain barely notices. Free trials, one-click starts, soft reminders, hidden renewals. According to consumer data, the subscription economy is set to grow into a multi-trillion-dollar market. One estimate projects it will reach $1.5 trillion by 2025. No wonder almost everyone now holds subscriptions. In fact, 78% of adults worldwide have at least one paid subscription, and the average consumer carries about 5.6 active subscriptions at any given time. From streaming and apps to fitness to cloud storage, the feeling of continuity replaces the feeling of cost. When a payment recurs automatically, your brain loses the reset moment, the moment where you pause, reevaluate, and decide. You don't pay again, you just continue. This subtle shift exploits what psychologists call the pain of payment. When the act of paying is spread out, invisible, and decoupled from decision, your brain doesn't register it as a purchase. It registers it as life maintenance. And it's not just psychological, it's statistical. Subscription businesses have grown more than 400% over the past decade and have outpaced traditional indices by nearly 5 times in growth. That means companies have figured out how to make you stay, not because you buy more, but because you never fully let go. The shift towards subscriptions isn't just a trend, it's a global economic transformation. In 2024, the global subscription economy already generated nearly $500 billion, and analysts project it could grow to over $1.5 to $2 trillion by the early 2030s. North America alone dominates a large share of this market, but Asia-Pacific and Europe are rapidly catching up. And it's not just digital media. Subscription commerce, where physical goods and services are delivered on a recurring schedule, is also expanding fast. Even mainstream consumer behavior reflects this shift. A survey found that 2/3 of consumers would prefer a single bundle that manages all their digital subscriptions in one place, suggesting that people are beginning to expect subscription models, even if they don't fully enjoy them. Whether it's entertainment, productivity tools, fitness, or even car features, subscriptions are steadily replacing one-time purchases across industries. Subscriptions change the relationship with products and services. You don't own tools, you maintain them. And that's not just a feeling, it's a predictable business logic, recurring revenue. Investors now value subscription models because they generate predictable income streams with higher lifetime customer value, a stark contrast with volatile one-time sales. But this shift also changes how we relate to life choices and expenses. Some consumers report that subscriptions now account for over half of their discretionary spending. This means that for many people, the cost of living modern life isn't in big purchases, it's in 100 subscriptions, quietly pulling money month after month. And even when we feel annoyed or irritated, that irritation often gets misdirected. We blame the apps, the workers, the interface, instead of noticing the invisible economy of recurring revenue we're living inside. Subscriptions aren't just changing spending habits, they're reshaping our expectations of ownership, freedom, and what it means to have something. This video isn't about canceling everything, or pretending subscriptions are evil, or going back to a world that no longer exists. Subscriptions solved real problems. They made tools accessible. They lowered entry barriers. They made powerful things available to people who could never afford to buy them outright. But they also quietly changed the structure of everyday life. Ownership became access, completion became continuity, and choice slowly turned into default. The danger of the subscription model isn't the money, it's the invisibility. Because when payments happen without moments, when tools stay without decisions, and when services blend into identity, we stop asking what's worth maintaining and start assuming everything is. Awareness doesn't cancel subscriptions, but it changes your relationship with them. It brings the decision back. And the next time a free trial asks for your card or a device unlocks a feature for $9.99 a month, you won't just see convenience. You'll see the model behind it, the structure you're being invited into, and the life you're quietly agreeing to maintain. How many subscriptions are running in the background of your life right now? Not the ones you remember, the ones you stopped noticing.